Hey y'all, what's up? Oh y'all, y'all, so like I am terrified of bugs, right? And like when I did that and I kind of looked at myself like I thought it was a bug. So I'm about to freak out. But anyways, welcome back to my channel, or if you're a first time visitor, welcome. Either or, you are currently tuning into a Locked In with T session. So in order to stay locked in with me, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. I'll wait. Did you do it? But thank you guys for tuning in. And today we are reverting all the way back to the hair videos. Like, I know that I have not been giving you guys hair content for the last like 3 weeks, and I think I even got lazy and skipped a week. We ain't gonna talk about that. But I'm going back to the hair videos. So today's video is gonna be for all of my people who are trying, or not trying, I guess they're trying to figure out if they want braid locks or not braid locks, but you know, locks in general or not. And if you're anything like me, baby, I'm a Virgo, and when I tell you, if I ain't gonna do nothing else, I'm an overthinker. I'm gonna overthink everything. So if you're at that stage where, you know, like you're like, oh, I think I want to get locks, but then I really don't know, like, what are the pros and the cons of it? This is all the reasons why you should not get locks or braid locks or any type of locks at all. So if you are kind of like on the verge and you kind of need to know like what to expect, especially like the bad, stay tuned to this video and make sure you watch it all the way through, because I'm gonna give you all the tea, okay? All the tea. All right, y'all, before we get started, I look a mess. Like, I really just kind of got through working out, took a quick shower real quick, and I look crazy, so don't judge me. All right, so let's get into it. And I'm gonna be looking down because I kind of had to take notes, because I wrote down like all the stuff that like I either wish I knew, or all the stuff that like I really just dislike about this process so far. So the very first thing that you need to consider is the cost. Now, if you a cheap person, baby, this ain't for you. You might as well just, I don't know, but this isn't for you. I am from South Carolina and I live in North Carolina. So looking at the price range specifically for those areas, and also specifically to braid locks, not sister locks or any other type of locks, just braid locks, it's probably going to cost you anywhere from like $500 to $800. Now that price kind of ranges just because everybody's hair is different. So one person's hair might be thinner but longer, or longer but thicker. So it really just kind of depends. And it also depends on your loctician too. And the reason why I kind of brought up like where I'm from, so you can kind of get an idea of like, okay, I'm down south. So like if you are more so up north, like your prices are probably going to be a lot higher than here, because the cost of living is a lot more higher there. So of course they got to get their coins, they got to live too, so their prices are going to be a lot pricier than down here. So if you are deciding to get locks, definitely stack up your coins before, because I don't want you to you know, have a little consultation or something and then they hit you with that price and you like say what. Like, be prepared, have your coins ready, okay? But it doesn't just stop there, because you're gonna have to go back and pay more money, of course. So like for me, I chose the interlocking process. So with that, I have to go back every 6 to 8 weeks. It just kind of depends on when I'm free, what my schedule's like, how my hair is holding up. So that can run you anywhere from like 80 to 150-ish range. Again, depending on your area, your hair thickness, your hair length, that type of thing, how many locks you have. So yeah, definitely be prepared to pay, if you're in my area, definitely be prepared to pay around like $500 to $800 for your initial install. On top of that, I'm paying around $80 to $150 per retie, and that's like around every 6 to 8 weeks, or however long your loctician says that you need to get your retie. So if you feel like, you know, that's just not the type of money that you're trying to put out, then maybe you should reconsider and find another hairstyle. Now, if you're the type of person like, oh sis, money ain't a thing, then cool, all right, cool. But let's talk about this patience that you gotta have, okay? So you stack your coins up and this your day to get your initial install. Sis, you about to be sitting there for hours and hours and hours. You about to be sitting there, okay? Like, so for me, I have 308 locks and it took her 14 hours to do the install. Now these are braid locks, so if you're getting like sister locks or maybe, I don't know, any other type of micro locks, it may be a little bit longer, and also depending on how much hair you have, the thickness and the length. But for me, it took 14 hours. And baby, 14 hours. This is the longest hairstyle that I've ever sat through. Like, when I say you gotta hold your neck down like this for hours, and then your back be hurting, and the next thing you know, your butt hurting, your legs thumb, then you get bored and then you just falling asleep, and then she gotta like wake you up because your head just nodding all over the place. Like, it really is. It really takes patience, and anybody who knows me knows that I have no patience. So like, the reason, I mean, like, for me to even get this hairstyle is kind of like, okay, Sifa. But at the same time, like, just have patience, y'all. Just have patience. And y'all, it does not stop there, okay? So every 6 to 8 weeks, I have to go get a retime. So the first time I'm gonna go get my retime, I'm like, all right, cool, let's go knock this out real quick. And I'm thinking it's gonna be like, you know, like an hour, maybe 2 hour little job, and I'm out, and you know, I can do whatever I want to do. It took 4 hours. 4 hours. And I guess it was kind of like, well, I thought it was going to be shorter, and it ended up being longer, so I wasn't like mentally prepared for 4 hours. But it really took like 4 hours, and I was really kind of disappointed. So if you can manage, you know, 4 hours every 6 to 8 weeks, and then maybe 14, 15, 20, however many hours in the beginning, then you're good. It's also like the length of the journey. Now, I can't really speak too much on the journey because like I'm only like, what, 3-ish months in, but y'all know my patience is thin, honey, and like I feel like I should be a little further along than what I am. Like, I don't know. And then like whenever I was trying to make my decision as to whether I wanted to get locks, like the first thing I did, which I encourage you not to do, is to go online, look at like all of these people, and you're like, oh, I love her hair, and it's long and it's luscious and it's full, and you're like, yes, I want it. But I mean, how far along are they in their journey? They're probably years and years and years in their journey, and they had to go through this to get there. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just ready to like be there, and it's really like getting on my nerves that I have to look at this every day. So it's not like I hate it, but it's just like, okay, like I'm tired of being in this stage. Let's move on to something else. But I mean, you just really have to have the patience, because it's gonna take years, especially if you have braid locks. It's really gonna take years for your locks, at least I think. Don't quote me on that, but for me, how I feel like I want it and what I've seen and watching YouTube, it's taken years and years for them to get there. So I mean, you're just gonna have to have patience, and I guess I'm just gonna have to have patience, because I'm like really upset. And it's crazy because like when I first decided I wanted it, in my head I'm like, okay, I know that I'm gonna have to have patience. I know it's not gonna happen overnight, and that's fine. Like, I got it, I can do this. But I'm like, why do I think I could do this? Because like I'm so like ready to get out of this stage. But yeah, if you feel like this journey is gonna take too long for you to yield the results that you want, then you might want to reconsider getting braid locks or any type of locks at all. All right, so moving right along. So you're like, cost is nothing, patience is nothing. Now you got your install. Now the next thing that I really thought that I mentally prepared myself for was going through the beginning stages. I mean, I call it the ugly stage. Some people are like, oh no, it's not ugly stage, it's this, but like, I'm gonna say the ugly stage because that's what I feel, okay? So like, I didn't like that stage at all. Like, the whole time, like, okay, I know when you get out the chair, you're not gonna like it, but it's okay because all gonna come together in due time. But y'all, I did not like it. And if you've been keeping locked in with me, like, you'll know that like I was very like insecure whenever I first got it. And I just hated, y'all, I hated the fact that it was so thin. And the fact that it was so scalpy. I felt like I looked like Little Bill out here. He ain't had no hair, but you just saw scalp. Like, I hated that. Like, I don't know. I just wanted to get out of that phase as quickly as possible. And it was like, even if you try to like style it into a cute style, it was just so thin and it just didn't look right. So it made me like very insecure, like going out, honey, nobody even studying me. Like nobody cares, okay? But when I go out, it's like, oh my God, they're probably looking at me like, what did she do to her hair? Why did she do that? Like, I don't know. It just made me a little insecure, you know, just going through that phase. So if you feel like you can't go through that, but honestly, it didn't last too long. It didn't last as long as I thought it would, but it lasted a little too long for my liking. So if you feel like, you know, you don't want to go through that phase, you don't feel like you can get through it, then I mean, I guess you could slap like a wig on or something, but I don't know. If you feel like you can't handle that, then I definitely would not consider any type of locks or braid locks. And it's not just braid locks, it's any type of locks. Everybody has to go through that phase as part of the process. So if you feel like that's not something that you want to go through, then nah, it ain't for you. Now, another thing that I don't like about the braid locks, and this is not for everybody, this is just for anyone who has like relaxed ends or relaxed hair. So I had relaxed ends, and I still do, but it just drives me crazy like that they're super straight. I don't like it like at all. And as you can see now, like I have two textures. So I have curls in the back, curls for the girls, okay, and then like my front is all just straight. So like if I put it, like I had it in a ponytail earlier to work out, and you see it just bends that way. So now it's just like the straight piece just hanging out, and it looks like, to me it looks like stringy and raggedy, and I don't like that. So normally what I try to do, before I was trying to like rod my ends, but now I'm more so into like the braid outs. But even in the braid outs, you still have these straight ends. So, and then I try to like curl it with a rod at the end. So then it's like wavy and then like a curl at the end. So I don't know. So if you have relaxed hair and you don't like that straight look, then this might not be for you. Granted, if you want to like rod your hair almost every night, or if you want to put a braid out in it almost every night, then cool. But I mean, you always gonna have these ends on there unless you cut them. So yeah, it just gets on my nerves. Look at that. It really gets on my nerves, and I would 10 out of 10 not recommend if you have relaxed ends. No, I'm just kidding. Like, I wouldn't 10 out of 10 recommend, but it is just an annoyance. Like, you can't just spray water and it curls up like the back, and then the back looks a lot like fuller versus it being more like stringy and more thin at the top, and it's just a hot mess. So just be aware that if you have relaxer, it's gonna be more like straight looking, not as thick, stringy, all of the above. So keep that in mind. Now, one thing that I wasn't too prepared for was the itching. And this kind of happened in the beginning stages. It's kind of fizzled out now. I might have a little itch here and there, but like in the beginning, it was just like I was like really scratching my hair, my scalp, because it was so itchy. And I don't get it. I don't feel like it was like irritating or anything. Like, my hair has been in braids before. I don't know what it is or what it was, but like my scalp was so itchy. It was almost uncontrollably itchy, and because I scratched so much, I felt like my hair was maybe dry. I tried to put moisture in, and I don't know, but it was like very itchy. And because I was scratching it so often, and I have bad dandruff too, so walking around with an itchy scalp, and also like you scratching up all the dandruff. So I felt a little bit insecure, a little self-conscious about that, because like if you like look up, you can see all the little white flakes. See, got something in my hair. That's another thing, y'all. That's another thing, because it is so easy to capture lint. Like I tried on a shirt earlier, and a little string from my shirt is on there. But like so that's another thing. I'll tie that in together. So it's very, very itchy. If you have dandruff, you can clearly see the dandruff look like Christmas if you have a bad dandruff problem. And also it like captures lint a lot. So if I lay on something fuzzy, or if I put like a sweater on that have like the little soft cotton material on the inside, I put it over my head, it captures all the lint, and I don't like that. So 9 times out of 10, I'll just put on like a bonnet when I'm putting on a sweater. When I go to bed, I'll put on a bonnet, or I'll sleep on a silk pillow. But like all of that combined is like a no. It gets on my nerves. But I can say that the itching part and the dandruff part has went away dramatically. As I don't think I have any dandruff. I might see a little bit here and there, but compared to like how it used to be, yeah, it was so terrible. But I've also been using Serenity essential oils on my hair, and that has like really, really, really helped me, because like this time, like before my first retie, it was like Christmas, okay? Like it was snowing inches, okay? So like it has really gotten better. But I mean, and you might not go through that little like itching phase, but just be aware that it's a possibility. I watch YouTube videos and other people have went through it, so just be prepared for that itching phase. And if you have dandruff, you're gonna see all the little dandruff all in your hair, and also the lint can definitely get caught up in your hair, and your hair can be very linty. So keep that in mind. And my final thing to kind of piggyback off of the last like group of things I said I didn't like is buildup. Now I would get buildup like at the base of my locks, and it would just look disgusting, okay? Like the dandruff is the dandruff. It looks like dandruff, and you know, kind of looks disgusting too, like ew. But when the buildup gets on the locks, like the base of the locks, it looks gross. It looks like you don't even care about life, and you didn't even take time to even try to wash your hair. So the very first go around, like I had so much buildup, and like even when she washed it, majority of it came out, but there were some spots where the buildup just wouldn't come out. Eventually over time it came out, but like the fact that you gotta walk around with like all this buildup in your hair looking like you dirty, it's like not the move. It's not the move. So yes, honey, if you're not a fan of buildup, and you might not get buildup, but just be mindful that, you know, you can get buildup. And if that's not something that you kind of want to go through or deal with, I know you have buildup in your regular hair, but I feel like it's a little different because you can just kind of like comb that out, versus can't really comb your braids out. I mean, you can probably try to get the buildup out by washing it, maybe kind of picking through it, but I feel like you have a greater chance of messing up your locks trying to, you know, pick all the lint and the buildup or whatever else out. All right, guys, so if you have made it through the end of this video and you're like, oh, that's nothing, like I know that I can handle all of that, then honey, this might be for you, okay? You might want to get you some braidlocs, you might want to get you some sister locks, any type of microlocs. This might be up your alley. However, if you're kind of like, I don't know about that, I don't know if I can handle that, I don't know if I want to, you know, wait that long to see the results that I want, or honey, I ain't trying to pay that much money for no hair, like you might want to reconsider, or at least I'm not gonna say not get them, but maybe do a little bit more research before you make that decision to just join the lock gang. But yes, guys, I'm about to head out. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a good thumbs up, leave some comments, especially if you're in your lock journey, or if you have any questions for me about, the things that I'm going through with my lock journey that maybe you want to know that can maybe help you make your decision, please drop them in the comments below. And I will see you guys next time.